Hello, hello. Welcome to a probably ill-advised late night live stream. And my camera just went out. So you'll see what I mean when I said that it's ill-advised. It's too bad. I'm using a cord that I used to use, and it doesn't work as good. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, I'll try to fix it. Other than that, how's everybody going? Okay, there's that. Okay, that should be fixable at this point. Oh god, I'm upside down again. Let me fix that. Transform 180. Oops. Transform 180. And then move that over that. Sorry guys, bear with me. There we go. Alright, now we're back to normal. Get my AC going again too, because that is unbearable. Oh man. Alright, hold on guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a better cord for this. Apologize, but let me get the music back going and we'll pretend like this never happened, right? Be right back. finally ready. Yes. Welcome to an ill-advised late night stream from Coding Things IRL. That's my channel, if you don't know, by the way. My name is Adam. I call my channel Coding Things IRL because that is what I love to do. Hold on. Tighten that there. There. There we go. I call my channel Coding Things IRL because that is what I love to do. I love doing these streams for you guys. It's super fun. When you guys show up, it just makes me so happy that you guys are there. And it just makes, I don't know, it just motivates me. It's pretty sweet. Alright, let's go to the chat. Open source. Good to see you. You must never sleep. Or I'm just good at catching you at the right times. Because to be honest, I don't sleep either. I'm always awake. I'm only streaming whenever I have time. And right now I have a little bit of time, so we're going to do a little bit of streaming. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to Coding Things IRL. We need all the subscriptions that we can get so that we can get as many people as possible on board with the magic of coding. Alright, so today we've already done quite a bit, and I will show you what we did earlier. I apologize if you've already seen it. But for the benefit of those who haven't, let's go ahead and take a look. We added a new shape. We added the ellipse shape. We added the ellipse shape, yeah. And the ellipse is just like a circle. You might know it as an oval. It gets long and it gets wide. And that's number one. Number two is we added rotation, which is pretty sweet. But there's a little problem with this rotation. If we are in the same rotation, we can't erase these because they're not fixed positions. So hopefully there's a quick fix for that, and we can move on from this problem. So let's take a look at the code. So on shapes.js is where we need to be. And this is the rotate shape function that we created. And we're setting a position which is a cloned position. So if it's a cloned position, then we can assume that it is a vec3 from 3JS. And if it's a vec3 from 3JS, then we should be able to use our adjust function. Adjust post to fixed grid. Let me just make sure that that actually returns a vec3 and takes a vec3. You can see here that it does return a vec3. And the properties that it accesses suggests that it takes AVEC3 as the position. That's good. So that means that we can use this in our rotate shape function easily. It's almost a match made in heaven. So we can go position equals adjust to fixed grid position. Let's see what kind of effect this has on our rotation. So we'll do a refresh. Okay. And we'll choose a non-square shape. Ellipse is fine. And there we have a non-square shape. Let's change the rotation. So you see we're not filling in all the same pegs. But look at that. We now have the ability to erase them no matter what. And so that therefore fixes the issue. Alright guys, don't forget to like the stream, don't forget to subscribe, and we're going to fix some more issues, but let's commit this one for now. This one was fixed quicker than I thought, but that's acceptable. Quicker than I thought is always acceptable over slower than I thought. Alright, so off screen, I know you can't see this, but I got my GitHub desktop up because I'm that type of person. And it's only a one-line commit that I'm looking at here. A single line fixes that entire problem. It's so beautiful. And we're going to name this commit Rotation Fixed Positions. And I think that adequately describes exactly what it is. In the rotation, we're implementing the fixed positions. I think that's totally beautiful. I couldn't have planned that any better. I wish I could say the same for the delete undos. The delete undos, if you were here earlier, that did not go so well. And I just want to let you know, I've been programming for 8 years, and that does not go away. Sometimes you just run into problems that you're just not ready to fix that day. And the incorrect thing to do is just plow forward and keep failing. That is incorrect. I'd say fail 3 times and then move on. But I didn't do that earlier. And I ended up wasting a whole bunch of time, and I regret it. So don't make the same mistake. Know when to cut your losses and move on. Because when we finally did cut our losses, that's when we implemented rotation. That's when we implemented ellipses. So we traded in the sorrow for success. And having done so, I'd say we're better off for it. Okay, now let's go to the chat. Good to see you, brother. It's good to see you too. I appreciate you so much for joining all my streams and liking. It just means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Okay. So that was quicker than expected. So let's see what else there is. I think if you can't tell right now, I'm procrastinating because the major issue that I need to fix is the undo deletes, and I'm scared of trying to do it because earlier I did it and it didn't go well. I'm not afraid to admit that I don't want to go into something that I'm not sure I can do right now. I'm just not ready for that. That's okay. because there's plenty else to do. We can't have that tunnel vision. We have to be able to see, that there is a greater goal than just this small thing. Small but major, but same idea. Okay, so we got rotate images. We actually already did that, so I have the great pleasure of closing this issue. I think that me personally, I could use more discipline with managing these issues, and the comments. I could do better with the comments, but at the end of the day, you can't spend all your time micromanaging yourself, and you can't spend all your time micromanaging others. People will hate you for it. There's an episode of Futurama where I think Bender becomes God, or somebody becomes God, and then they meet the real God, and then the real God says to Bender, whoever, you can't just go around forcing everything. You have to use a light touch. And I thought that was very wise from Futurama about leadership in general. Something to think about. Open source. As I thought you were a professional senior software plus game engineer. I am not any of those things, but thank you. I am only a coder, I'm just trying to make stuff. I love making stuff. And I think that's where I will put the end of the title. I'm a maker of stuff. I like making stuff. And I love it when people use my stuff that I make. I can't wait for you guys to be able to play this game. It means the world to me. Okay. Let's see what else we can do. So we did solve the triangle issue, the rotation triangle issue. Now what do we have here? Dynamic options based on shapes. Constant shapes. I'm going to close that because I don't want that anymore. If anything, I'll just make it to where I actually do have a good idea for that. We can set it to where we have square shapes. And that way we can add another shape, a square. And if we have a square shape, then whenever we adjust the width and the height, then the other attribute will adjust at the same number. Now that all depends on whether or not there exists a function in the GUI in the UI library that we're using to listen to update events. So let's take a look and see if that exists, because I think this is worth pursuing, because this is kind of what I'm going for here. If it is a square object, meaning, I'll just be frank, circle and square. Square doesn't exist yet. We have circle. Circle is a square object. Ellipse is a rectangular object. But if it is a square object, meaning the width and the height are the same, then we will adjust them to be the same as they're being adjusted. Because right now it's kind of confusing. If you select circle and you select the height, it doesn't change it at all. It only depends on the width. So I think a very simple solution to that would just be to make it look like when you're adjusting either the width or the height, you're adjusting both of them. Alright, enough talking. let's look and see how we're going to do it. So here we have GUI is the class that we're bringing in, and I forget the library. It'll be up top. So GUI, it's called Lil GUI. All right, so Lil GUI is the is the name of the JavaScript file. This is a Lil GUI, and we're trying to do update event, something like that. I see change events in this. So this is the Lil GUI website here. And I'm just going to Control F, change, because I saw that. Number 7 is change events. Params foo on change. This is what we want. We want on change. And I'm thinking that we can get by with just that information. First thing we want to do is we want to find a way to designate certain shapes as square shapes. And I think that the best way for us to do that is just to create another constant called square shapes. And despite what Copilot thinks, the only square shape that we currently have is circle. But we'll be adding square. I don't want to do it now, even though I don't think it's going to be too complicated. I just don't want to do it. It's potentially going to confuse me. Anyway, so we'll take our square shapes and we will export it. That's all we're going to do for now on shapes. So now over here on the GUI, we need an on change event. All right, let me go back and refer to the documentation on exactly how that goes. So we have add, and then we're chaining the on-chain function onto that. Perfect. So that'll look something like this. Instead of a semicolon, we'll go to the next line, indent, and then we'll do on change. Whoa. Okay, we don't want that exactly. What we'll say is if state.shape type is or shape type is in square shapes, set height to width. Exactly. Okay. Almost, except we need to import the square shapes into main right here. So let's do comma square shapes just like that. And we will say if square shapes dot index of is greater than -1, meaning it exists in square shapes, the shape type, then we will set the height to the width. And similarly on the height, it will do the exact same thing. Let's take out this comment and we'll take out the semicolon. Exactly. So hopefully the effect of that will be is if we have circle selected and we are changing either the height or the width, then yeah, either the height or width will also change. The width or height will also change with it. Is that what we get? Let's see. Circle is what we have here. And I don't see the height or width changing, unfortunately. But I think I know why. No, I don't know why. I guess first thing that I would do is make sure that I'm firing this function. We'll do so optimistically. So right in there, we want to make sure that we get an alert. Alright, we are getting the alert. That's good, that's good. But I don't think that setting this shape is doing anything. I think we need to set state dot shape height, and similarly here we need to set state dot shape width. All right, let's see if that does what we want it to do, and I hope it does. That's all I'll say. I hope it does. No. Hold on. Let me just try a couple things there. Worth a shot, right? What is that, on width or height? That's on width. Interesting, it's not changing the number now. Very interesting. But I mean, I know that we're getting into that if statement. I know that we're changing this value of this state. I don't know. I don't necessarily know why it's not reflecting on the actual GUI. There's something else going on. There's something else going on. I don't know what it is. Turn that down just slightly. It's hard to do because it's already so quiet. And there we go. That's better. Okay. So this actually just made it to where the display didn't update at all. That's not good. Okay. Something else that we're missing. There's another step here. And there's a lot to this, so that's not good. Okay. Okay, controller.options. Is this changes the controller options in the drop-down option? Calling this method on an option controller will simply update the options. However, if the option controller is not already an option controller, calling the options out of order adds a new controller to the end. Okay, that's weird. I don't think that's what I want. Controller get value. Listen, set value. Okay, this sets the value of an object property, invokes any on-change handlers, and it updates the display. Okay, that's interesting. How do we do that? Is there a good example of that? What's the one that we're using right now? Find? Let's see if we have reference to find here. Oh Lord. I don't see it there. We have on change. Let's check out on change. Controller.onChange. Okay. So I think GUI is the controller, right? Now GUI is different. So GUI is different. GUI open, GUI save, GUI load, add folder. Oh man. There's a lot more to this GUI than I thought that there was gonna be. So I do know that the onChange function is working properly. That's good. So we have event in the event that we're getting on the onChange event handler. We're getting object property value controller, and that says object that was modified, the string name of the property, the new value of the controller, and the controller that was modified. Okay, so what we need is the new value, right? And then the object that was modified. Where's that at? Yeah, okay, here. So on our onChange event, we need to be passing in an event. And I'm going to take this real quick. Put it in a little comment here. Just so I can have reference to it. It's not doing anything with that. So the object that was modified, the string name of the property, and the new value of the controller, and the controller that was modified. What's the distinguishment between the object and the controller? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means enough to be able to use this effectively. Let's see. I'm gonna try to chat GPT it again. I didn't have a successful chat GPT earlier, but right now I'm gonna attempt it again. Alright, so I'm going to take this function. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. Don't judge me. Don't you judge me. And I will ask ChatGPT very politely. GUI.update display. Who'd have known, right? Who would have known? Honestly, probably anybody that takes more than 2 seconds to look it up. But that's not me, man. I'm not that guy. I'm simply not. Alright, well. That didn't work anyway. It might have worked. Hold on. I have a theory. I have a sneaking suspicion that something ain't right. Now something really ain't right. Alright, well. Another unsuccessful ChatGPT. Unless it's, let's see. Unless we want to do, what, state.shape? And it's entirely possible that I need to use a spread operator annoyingly. But I don't even think I'm going to pursue that right now. It seems like so much work. It's not working. Yeah. It just doesn't work. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. I mean, it's setting it to this value, right? This is the last thing I'm going to do on this. This is a very minor issue. I'm just... Yeah. Alright, let's kill it. Alright. For another day, I'm sure. Florida man, you calling me a noob? That's fair. I'll accept it. I'm sure I'm a noob relatively to somebody. Logic, motivate, PA, shout, idle. Whatever that means. Don't forget to like the stream and subscribe. Florida man. I am also a Florida man. I'm in Florida. I don't know if you can tell, but it is currently 80 degrees. And I'm sweating at nighttime. That's how you can tell I'm in Florida. What happened? I think rendering too much. There we go. Let me close out of this browser. go. I think I got some extra console logs going on there. Let's see. No. It is moving pretty slow, I'm not gonna lie. We can fix that. It is a matter of minor optimizations. Alright. What's next on the issues? Move event listeners. I'm not doing that. Optimize rendering by storing list of objects rather than something tells me I'm already doing that, but I don't know because I am doing that because I'm using the spread operator on the state. When you use the spread operator on that object, it doesn't retain its methods. And I don't think it's going to retain some of its more intense stuff. Probably would be good for me to get the size of the state. Do some memory optimizations. I'm not going to do that now, though. I'm going to do that now. That'll be another stream. Toolbar options. Nope. Donate link. Nope. Toolbar buttons. Again, no. Click to start shape, click to end. I'm not doing that. That's not going to be part of this game at this point. Shareable links, that's actually already done. You can mark that as done. Although I don't have it operational at the moment. It is done. Add basic shapes. We have basic shapes. We have basic shapes. The only thing I can think of right now, aside from the major stuff that's super giving me trouble that I'll focus on tomorrow, is some of the optimization stuff, which I just said that I wasn't going to do. I'm thinking maybe I will actually go into it right now. I don't normally have to do this stuff because normally, you know, web developer, and you don't have to worry about using a bunch of GPU resources on a React website normally. Let's see what we have in the developer tools available for us. Come on now, what's going on? Control Shift I. I mean, if I can even get it open. Wow. Okay. Let's try that again. What's going on? I can't open the console. That's weird. Let me try to reopen it. Reopen Chrome. And see what's going on. That's not normal. Alright, so there's a new Chrome window. I know you can't see it yet. Hold on a second. That's so weird. Normally I can just... Okay. I'm not going to comment on what just happened. I'll leave it to your imagination. At any rate, I got it working. Don't worry about it. Don't ask me any questions. Anyway. Alright, Chrome console. Now, there is a tab in here called Memory. And the only option that we have is take snapshot. And then it's doing something. I see 8.3 megabytes, 11.1 megabytes. And then a red kilobits per second. So that's the speed. I'll do take snapshot. All right. 8 megabytes is the major headline of that. Let's make a circle. A couple circles. Okay. Now what do we do? Anything? Save profile. Oh no. What is this? Oh, and I would... Okay, taking a new snapshot. "41 megabytes. Significantly larger. Okay. Alright, I have an experiment. Let me close this. And I'm just going to hover this around for a little bit. I'm not adding any pegs. I'm just hovering this around. Just hovering it. Hover, 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 hover. All right. Now, let's take another snapshot. Just remember 41 because apparently that's gone. 8 and 41. What's this one gonna be? Dominator. 46. Okay. 46 megabytes after hovering just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to do anything. And I just want to see if that number grows. If I sit here and do nothing. This is... If we were doing a scientific experiment, which we are, this would be the control. And I just want to see what this is. Alright, let's take another snapshot. We're expecting the same number of megabytes. Or less. 46.2. Pretty much the same. Now... Let's go do some more hovering. Hover, 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 hover. I think you see what I'm getting at here. These resources are not properly disposed. Which is a major, major problem. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Another snapshot. And we're expecting to see a number greater than 46 megabytes by more than 0.2 megabytes. That's what I'm expecting. Not what I expected. now. Let's see what we get now. $44 megabytes. Okay. That's good. That's good. That means that at least this point we haven't ballooned any further in the memory. That's good. I'm happy about that. 44 megabytes is pretty big though for what we're doing here. And I think I know why. It has everything to do with the fact that we're saving the entire state to our history. So I think that in the future, when we do these optimizations, that will be where we start. We can even try it right now if you want. Why don't we do that? So we'll use the same method, except we'll go in the code and we'll disable the points where it is saving to the state history right there. So we won't be able to undo. I think that's really all it is. So state history. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so that's all right there. You should notice an increase, better performance. I'm not sure I noticed better performance, to be honest. Let's check the memory snapshot. I didn't add the correct number of shapes or whatever, but I'm thinking that the memory will be much less just because we're not saving the state. And there it is. I think that there's a significant number of more objects on the screen, but less data. In the entirety of the state, I don't think that we need to save anything but the position and the color. And those are the optimizations that we need to really take advantage of. Right now we're saving the entire 3JS object, and we don't need to. The only time that we need to deal with that is more adding it or removing it from the scene. By saving it and assigning it over and over again, I think that we're moving too much memory around and causing these little flickers that we see. This is going to be the major focus of tomorrow, and once we're done, we will be publishing this game, and it'll be available for you to play. It won't be long now. Tomorrow, I think it's going to happen, but if we're not able to get the major things done, it might not happen. Be honest with you. But I'm going to do my best. It's very important that I get this in you guys' hands and you guys play it. Because I love you guys. And I love that I get to do this in front of you guys. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for tonight. If you like the stream, Make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe to Coding Things IRL, and check out the stream next time. And I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.